Hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming Dudes Podcast.
I am Spidey.
Oh yeah, and I'm Bren. I forgot to say Bren. I'm Bren. Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's like the first time I've ever done that.
So
I am tired.
Oh, same here, dude. I just woke up from a nap.
And I have a... Oh, you took a nap?
Yeah, I took a nap.
Oh, I didn't know.
After doing some studies, I took a nap.
And I have a headache, but I'm here.
Yes, we are both tired.
So last week we decided we were going to play the finals.
Yes.
And talk about it this week. And then there's a video I want us to watch that I haven't really seen. But it looked... Yeah. The title looked interessante.
We haven't seen... I haven't seen it at all, so I have no idea what he's talking about. Only he knows. But the finals is pretty good. The gunplay is fun. It's like kind of the way I describe it. It kind of reminded me of Overwatch because the separation of the characters, like the heavy, the light, and the medium,
and the shields were there's like power ups that were like Overwatch.
That's what I was thinking.
Like the heavy had like all the shields.
Yeah, the tanks had the defense stuff. The support actually had guns, the medium, which is cool because a lot of times support characters don't have that. They're just
you had damage output.
Yeah,
it felt like.
Yeah. Once you had if you used the AK-47, the shotgun was terrible.
Yeah,
like
that was
legitimately terrible.
You trying the
worst weapon in the game?
Was really funny.
Worst weapon in the game.
You were like, this is terrible.
I was like, who thought this was a good idea?
I played light, of course.
Yeah, you played the straight DPS. Literally just DPS.
Yeah.
And
you were like, how? And you see my SMG.
Yeah, I was like, how's the SMG melting? And then I finally understood. I was like, wait a minute. That makes sense because you're the DPS. Now you die really fast.
Yeah, my health is so low.
Yeah, mine's like...
What was yours?
Mine's like 250 or something.
Okay, well, I have 100 less than you.
Yeah, yours was like 100 less, and it goes down fast. Yeah, yours was going down. Yours was going...
Yeah, I'd be dead. You're dead. Make one wrong move and you're dead, literally.
Yeah.
You don't even have to really make a wrong move and you're dead.
With the medium and the heavy.
Of course, I picked the hardest class. I freaking... Realistically, I'd probably be better at medium, but... Pick the old run and gun light.
Yeah, that...
But the game is cool. It seems like a lot of other people are enjoying it too, which is crazy. And it's cool because it's an indie company.
Oh, yeah. For once, an indie company kind of... I'm not saying I don't like indie games, but sometimes they're pretty...
So we got like an indie banger.
Yeah, for once, especially a multiplayer thing, that was good.
I will say, it felt fresh, which I haven't felt in a long time in video games.
I am so tired of seeing the same genres over and over again.
It definitely felt fresh for a...
It literally, I'm so tired of the same things over and over again. You got the multiplayer shooter and you got the battle royale. That's all you got. And then maybe the arena shooter. Those have been the same three genres that have been the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, because this was an arena shooter-like.
Yeah, but the maps...
It took inspiration, but the maps were fully destructible. Yeah. Which is one of the funnest parts of the game.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. I for you especially, because I never used... I used the grenades mostly to flush people out.
That's cool, but I'm saying, it would be fun when you were in,
Oh, yeah, if you wanted to get that...
When the building was, rubble, we're, fighting, and the building we were, originally in is, literally rubble on the ground. A giant building. And it doesn't come back. It's, for the rest of the match, it's gone. So sometimes you're just fighting in, straight rubble.
Yep, and you have to climb around the rubble to get back into the fight.
It can be kind of annoying sometimes, but the fact that it all is destructible without any issue at all?
I would argue that it's not... I wouldn't say it's annoying. For me, sometimes it'd be funny to see the whole house you're in just collapse.
Yeah.
And then you
Or you'd be on the floor oh, I'm good. And all of a sudden you're two flights down right in front of somebody's gun.
I was literally just in the house and it fully collapsed. Everyone else got out before it collapsed.
It's fun, too, because it would literally, I would use there's a ton of strategy.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't even scratch the surface.
So, basically, the objective is to get these bank vaults. Get this bank stuff. Grab this, bank card thing and stick it into and cash it in.
It's like a box.
Yeah, it's like this box.
So it's like
it's kind of like
$10K.
It's like a safety deposit box kind
of.
And
you take these cash out machines. The cash out machines have a certain amount of time before you get to get cash out, and basically you're protecting that, and every team in the whole thing is coming after you, trying to stop you from doing that.
It's insane. It's literally insane.
One of the most beautiful parts of it is the clutch ratio, because we almost never kept. It was always just like coming in clutch.
Yeah.
We almost never actually guarded one for the whole time. We did a few times, but most of the time it was like you're fighting, and then you swoop in at the last second.
I feel like that's just the way the game is, honestly. Someone will just come in and then the other person shows up. Like, oh, we're just fighting one team. Nope, Team 3 comes in and then sweeps you down and kills you.
It was like we literally basically, exactly. There were times where it was like, oh, we single-handedly took this.
Yep.
Or Seth took it by himself, or I took it by myself.
Yep. And then
last second, dude, having a dumb teammate stings in this game too.
Oh yeah, there's no going back. It's more of an objective-based game.
So KD's not a huge it's not like a
honestly,
huge facet.
KD is a joke. The second, because in this, it doesn't matter how many people you kill. We've seen players
unless you're getting kills on helping the objective, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, honestly, if you're just some kill hog who just kills people and doesn't even go for the objective, the game's over.
Yeah, because there is a really chill aspect of it.
Yeah.
Where you before the cash out starts, where it's just grabbing the vault, because you don't have to go in on these guys when they have the vault.
Yeah, you
when they're bringing the money to the cash out, it's you don't have to stop them.
Yeah,
they have to guard it for so long. You're gonna have so many chances to get in.
It's honestly better to do that anyways, because if you do go after it, really it's just if you want to get kills, you can go after it, but it doesn't really matter. It's honestly better if you get to the point where the box is in the machine and the bar is ticking down. Then
one large part of the teamwork too is sticking together. It's a very you should stick together.
You cannot go,
which I like. I mean, we would try to run in and do stuff just because we were just trying.
But it would not.
But almost all the time, it's never worth it. Most of the time.
We had one team.
Unless you don't have a chance, you don't have time to wait.
And then even then, it's just at that point you're
kind of
aren't
gonna get it, but you never know.
It's over.
We had some times where I was like, dude, there's no way we're coming out of this.
Oh,
and we would won because we won our first few rounds.
Oh yeah, easy. It was almost too easy.
And then it got harder, but we were still every time we lost, it was barely. Besides one or two times.
It was mostly because bad teammates. That was actually it was pretty much entirely because of that.
When our third teammate was bad, it was
he wouldn't help us out, and I picked the shotgun, which you never pick the shotgun. Either, that's not a good definitely cutting that out.
Anyway.
Yes. Anyway. Yep. Not even gonna explain why. Not even gonna explain why. I'm yep, that's going away.
Yeah. So the game's very. So basically, you do the cash out stuff. It's the first to $20,000 in quick cash, which is the main thing we played.
Yeah, we did.
Because there's more competitive modes, but they're longer, and we wouldn't. I haven't really known the game well.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, honestly,
wanted to do that yet.
That just seems, and second half, that just seems.
And I'm pretty sure it's 3v. I think it's 3 teams of 4 instead of 3.
That almost seems.
Or 4 teams of 3 instead of 3 teams of 3.
That almost seems like.
So it's another. Imagine another team.
More CAS, in my opinion. You have the other one. You'd have just three guys. 3 teams, and that's it.
It's hard because running in is basically you can kind of do it, but you have to be incredibly careful.
And you have to be really insane.
Because there's so many other teams in the vicinity of... It's playing BR, but in the tiniest map. And...
With actual focus on something, rather than just running around and having some random... And you start with weapons, which is nice too. You don't have to go pick up a weapon or pick up something... In my opinion, it's that's cool for that, but if any other game has that mechanic, it would make no sense. I think it's just The way I see it is this game is it's much more, there's much more thought to what you're doing. It's not just you're chucked on a random island with a bunch of stuff you got to get and you have to kill everybody.
Yeah.
This is more realistically, you want to kill people around the point. If you don't, and if you're not going to do that,
but it doesn't. I mean, unless you are somewhere around the point,
then
somewhere close by making it so people aren't making it to us. You're doing nothing.
There's no reason to have some guy run out there.
You can clutch up all match, and then if you mess up in the cash out phase, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because there were times where we were out fragging teams on teams,
and
but we could not keep the cash out.
It still wouldn't matter.
Or steal. We wouldn't steal like in time.
It accomplished nothing. Like, it accomplished nothing. It doesn't matter. Your kill strength doesn't matter unless it's towards the objective, people. That's what I love to get in people's heads, is that your skill does not matter. Your supposed skill doesn't matter. And it may be skill, but guess what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like search and destroy, kind of.
Yeah, because you'll get killed.
Other teams than just you, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice. It's also nice not to have 7 different people on each team. You got 7 guys and 7 guys.
One cool aspect is...
Or 12 guys and 12 guys.
One cool aspect is the respawn. So it's like if you die, it's like 20 seconds, I think, to respawn, or 15.
Imagine if there's a mode where you just permanently died.
Well, I think in the tournament modes, like the actual tournament, like basically ranked play versions of it, I read something that you only get like 2 revives or something. I don't know if that means you can't...
Yeah, that would make...
I think that just means 2 revives. I don't know if that's the whole game.
I mean, like the defibs and stuff.
Defibs and stuff, yeah.
Which would make sense. But at the same time, the defibs, if you don't have the defibs, then it kind of takes out the whole...
I kind of like the idea of having less heals, just because... The defibs are sick because they heal you so quick, but it's like sometimes that's like the clutch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I would do is get rid of the timed respawning, but not the defibs.
So you'd make so we respawn 24/7.
I'm saying so you have to revive the person for them to respawn, and that's all you can do. You can't respawn them. Like, you can't... I'm saying they can't respawn after like 24 seconds. You just are permanently dead until you're repped. And if you don't, like, that makes so much more sense to me, because that invalidates the support class. If you just get you're like only 2 defibs.
Well, it's still good.
But I'm saying
it's still an immediate heal.
Yes, but they're
not saying they're saying revives as a whole. Slow revives, quick revives.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I think that's like one thing I read about the like ranked tournament.
Respawns, I could see that being that way.
2 respawns?
I'm saying not having any respawns.
Oh, you have to revive?
Yeah, you just have to revive. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm saying it's like an Overwatch deal where it's like, oh, this person can come in and revive everybody, but if they suck, the match is basically over.
Yeah.
That'll put pressure on the person, so they have to constantly be next to their teammate instead of showing off and being like, oh, well, just kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's just going to turn into a kill match. You're not even going to, like you're just going to go after each other and not even go after the objective. Like, you're just going to be like, oh, who cares about the objective? We can just kill each other.
Oh, because you don't respawn?
Yeah, we can just kill each other. If you can't res people, then what's the point of...
Well, I think the whole point is you respawn, so you have to strategically use your revives. So you can't just like spam revive.
That's true, but it's just interesting to me. It's interesting.
Which, I mean, it works with having tons of revives as well. So, I mean, it still works. So that's part of the reason we played Quick Cash though, because it's like you learn the game, it's fast,
and it feels like the way the game was designed to be played.
We haven't played the other stuff yet, but I don't feel like it would be better.
Yeah, it seems like unless you were like really into the game to the point where that was the only game you ever played, like at all.
I don't know how you would convince me.
Like you basically, it's just like I would try it out, but it would never be like a mode where I was like, dude, this is how I'm gonna play the game, dude.
Yeah.
It's like usually I love a hardcore thing, but that just sounds like I could see it for like people who are competitively playing the game at like the highest level, like big tournaments. If that ever happens, I have no idea if this game has a tournament scene at all, like actual tournament scene.
I don't either.
I could see it. I could see it getting it. Honestly, I could see it being a tournament game.
So do I.
But I doubt they're gonna do that because it's an indie game.
Did you pause it, Seth?
Yes.
I might need to.
Okay, we have cut back in.
I am in my
He took a nap. He is
incredibly long because I was tired. Because I couldn't keep my eyes open on the earlier when I was at their house, which you may have even noticed on the screen. We're back. So basically, we're just starting having a good discussion that we wanted to talk about in the podcast. But first, I want to wrap up the finals.
Yes. So the finals.
Finals, good. And all in all, we talked about basically the ground concept. It is a lot of fun stuff. The gunplay's fun.
Great game. Great game.
It's a good game. It's a very refreshing new game, and I haven't said that in a long, at least multiplayer-wise, I haven't said that in a long time.
Well, I honestly feel like indies, like our Brother Set It Off podcast, are going to kind of take over the market because they're optimized for all systems. Yeah. They're not, like, pouring so much time into the visuals that you have to, like, upgrade everything and be like, dude, I got to upgrade. Like, I don't have to upgrade my machine to play those games. That's what's nice. They're not guzzling you, and it's the same with like consoles. You don't have to buy a new console to play this game. That's a much, true. And in my opinion, that's going to end up. I think we're kind of going to go back in time to the way it used to be, where you could have your machines for longer. You could stick around with that stuff.
Me too.
But that's what I think this is. This could be a new era. This could be a new era of gaming.
Yeah, we could use one.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I agree.
We could use one. So yeah, I guess out of 5, just do out of 10. Out of 10, I'd give it probably 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8 too, simply because
I was gonna say 7 something, but then I was like, there's like an 8, maybe a little, like an 8.3 or something.
I go like an 8 only because of balancing of weapons. There is no balance with the heavy. The heavies was like, the heavy's weapons. We didn't even get to that.
The heavy weapons are insane. The heavy is a class, is got to be the best class.
It's busted. It's busted.
At least for like the casual, a lot of the people who are very, very good say the light class is the best, but it's like they're insane.
Yeah,
if you're amazing, the light class is the best. If you're regular, like a normal person like me, it's the heavy class is like, what the crap? People laid down this force field and were jacking us in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, it was an interesting
sledgehammer. So you couldn't grab the cash thing and they're beating you up. It was insane.
Interesting.
They had flamethrowers, rocket launchers that didn't do damage to them or their team, from what it looked like. Yeah, they would just rocket launch you when you were about to take the.
And yeah, the flamethrowers and all that. A lot of that stuff was super annoying.
Insane. So the heavy class, I'd pass on a lot of stuff that can do. Like in the sense of you can keep it, but.
Yeah, I would. No, I would.
For the light class, I'm just like done. I'm like, oh.
And I would. What I would have done personally is just like make it less of a damage thing. Like they can't dish out as much damage, but they can take a lot. That's how it should be, because you're basically.
They can. I'd imagine they deal less damage, but I don't know.
But they almost like instant kill you, depending on what they're using.
That sledgehammer is like.
Yeah, melee weapons are almost...
And the movement's crazy enough where they can get to you, like, pretty quick. Like, in a close-quarter situation, it's like, if I'm not hitting headshots, they hit me with that sledgehammer 10 out of 10 times.
It's, like, too OP. It's not something I would...
So that is my one gripe. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably bring it back to 8, actually, because of that.
I don't understand.
Maybe, like, 8.1 or something.
Honestly, even the maps, minus a couple, like... There are some maps that are real stinkers in there, man. Like, real stinkers.
Yeah.
Like that city map where you're like up on the rooftops. It just kind of.
Yeah. And yeah, I like it. It's just there's too many places to fall off. Like, I played a different night with some of my other buddies after we played, Seth, and like the amount of times we fell off the map just thinking we'd be okay was absurd. Like so many times. And it felt a little too big.
Yeah.
Or it's like the bigness is nice, but it's like how like we want to be able to make it back to the cash out as not as fast as possible, but at least have a chance.
Well, it should be balanced, but it isn't. It isn't balanced at all. In fact,
But other than that map, the rest of them were incredible.
You have to make a mad dash to that thing. A mad dash to the...
It was like the Neo Korea or 2023 or whatever.
It was just kind of like... What were you thinking?
But all the other ones besides that were amazingly good. I couldn't believe how good they were.
And unfortunately...
A hard game to make maps for, if you think about it.
True, but unfortunately, it's literally the beginning stages of the game. So there is basically
for it just being new, solid.
Oh, agreed. But
they can keep up balance right, keep things up, keep adding new maps. Like people will be like play this game for a long time. I bet. People at my work were saying that they thought it was going to die off, that it was like a gimmicky, like 15 minutes of fame game. I'm like, this is the first time I haven't felt like that in like years.
Here's the thing. I don't agree with them, but here's the thing. They could royally screw it up. There's potential for either thing to happen, because it's happened before. There are plenty of indie games that rose up and got their little fame, and then
True. So we'll see about that.
Yep.
At the end of this podcast, you should think of a game, because we should play one that you want to play, and then rate that as well, whatever it is.
But
so you should think during this episode what you want to pick at the end. I feel like I want to start doing a segment where we like do that, where we like play a game and review. Whether it's like a really new game or old game, whatever. But anyway. But moving on, we were talking about consoles. And we were talking about consoles because we were talking about, as I always talk about, how I want Spider-Man really bad, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But
and it's like...
It's only on PS5, and we're like... And then I didn't realize that it took 4 years for the other Spider-Man to get on there. So I always, even though I haven't done it yet and most likely never will... I keep thinking about how I want Spider-Man.
I've had that peer
pressure.
I
want to play Spider-Man right now, but I don't have a PS5.
But I've gotten so jaded. By it.
You have.
Just like,
dude, like seem to not care.
I just don't even care anymore. It's like, I like the first look.
Like, have you ever bought a console to play a game before?
Only Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man I did, but actually I didn't even buy it to play a game. I got it when I was younger for like Christmas or something. So if I hadn't,
but maybe you didn't get rid of it because of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man game, right?
The reason,
remember you were thought about selling your PS4 a long time ago, but you were like, I don't want to play the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, I sold it nowadays because I was like, dude, there's literally
you don't even own it.
Yeah,
I don't even own it on anything. I bought it. I played it because like you had it, so I played it.
I honestly, I bought the PC version, and then it was actually really optimized for Spider-Man. It was really optimized and really fun. But I don't know, man. What I would like, but with consoles and stuff, what we were talking about is, like special editions and stuff. They have these like silly little...
Because they had a Spider-Man one for the new Spider-Man game for the PS5 that was like basically $1,000. And I was like saying, why is that so much money? It's not even like a better version of the PlayStation. Because you get a regular... You get two controllers, and one's a custom Spider-Man controller, Spider-Man console, and the Spider-Man game. $1,000. And I was like... That seems, even if you add all those things up separately, doesn't equal $1,000. I'm like, oh yeah, it's because you get this cool, like you get the Spider-Man skinned one, but it's not even that creative of a Spider-Man. Like I should show it. Like it's kind of lazy looking.
Yeah, show me this design here. Now you got me curious.
Let me see if I can get like a close up, like what it looks like. Oh my gosh, I want this game so bad. I probably shouldn't even be looking at this. Here it is. Try to get a picture of like what it actually looks like. I mean, oh, here we go. Yeah. It's cooler than I thought. Here. It's still like for how much more money it is. I don't know, man. Let me share this.
Oh no! You know what's gonna happen when I see it. You know what's gonna happen. Okay. This looks stupid. This looks terrible.
Yeah, I kind of figured you'd think so.
Look, I understand what they're going for. You know, they're going for like the
I thought it looked really
suit.
Stupid. The Venom thing is the only thing that I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Like that. Well, that's the reason why most people are buying the game is because.
But I would rather just get pay for a custom controller that looks like that, not this whole. System, you know what I mean? Not this whole thing.
The controller looks
like this.
Cool,
the controller's I would get this,
but I almost feel like it's too minimalistic. I would have made.
But they didn't even. Yeah. They didn't even. It's like they barely tried.
You know the symbiote tentacle things. I would have added more texture to them, so they're more like gooey looking and kind of grody and shiny. You know what I'm saying?
This looks. Yeah, that would be awesome. But this looks like one of those custom sticker plates you can buy yourself. Yeah, it's like some off-brand person would make.
And someone will probably
barely tried.
Someone will make an off-brand thing for sure for this.
Like some of these look cool. Like sometimes they end up looking cool, but this is
$1,000 for this.
Yeah, I told you. Look, there's their price.
And
this is probably a cheaper version of it because Walmart somehow, I don't know if it's because they're so big, but sometimes they have insane prices on stuff that you don't find other places.
Who thought this was a good idea? Honestly, who thought?
Seriously. That's what I saw. I was like $1,000. So that made us start thinking about. First off, that doesn't even look that cool for $1,000. I know you're getting more than just the $1,000.
But I guess what people. This is just
if you're paying extra for a controller. That's one thing.
$1,000.
Not 1,000, but I'm saying I was like, if it was just a controller, we released a Spider-Man controller. I'd be like, and it's like $80. I'm like, that's sick.
I'm not
I still wouldn't get it, but
if it was like $30, I'd pick it up. A Spider-Man controller.
But the PlayStation controllers are like $70 on.
But I'm saying if there was like a discount or something,
or $60,
I would pick it up for sure, and I might actually use a PlayStation 5 controller on my computer. I probably would do that.
I still have a PS5 controller that works that I don't use somewhere over there because I switched to my back to PS4. Now I'm on Xbox. So anyway.
We're saying these things are superficial, okay?
So we're laughing about that. So that's incredibly expensive, but we were laughing because that's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, back in the 360 days, you had the Halo 3 Xbox, which is kind of
360. Yeah,
because
there was a green one and a blue one. Or so I remember for Halo, there was an old green one with with the orange disc tray.
Yeah, I remember that exactly. I remember that one exactly.
That was Halo. But then didn't we have another one that was blue-ish?
I think we had a black one.
I remember one being bluish kind of.
Oh yeah, we did have. Did we? I don't even remember.
It was dark blue. It was basically black.
Yeah,
a really dark tinge of blue. And I'm pretty sure we didn't even care about those. It was Dad that cared about those. We were
the special edition stuff.
I was it looks sick. I thought it was cool when I was a kid, but it's I would have rather just had a regular Xbox.
Yeah, and now those things, what's funny? Those things fall apart fast. Those things, it's like my Xbox One. The Xbox One the 360 lasted longer than my One did. My One was seriously, it's one of the worst sounding things you'll ever hear.
I still have my 360 in my room.
You have your 360.
Yeah, I still have. Yeah, I still have my 360 with its old hard drive in my. It might be in my trunk right now. It's either in the trunk of my car or it's in my room in here. I still have my 360 that I played on as a kid.
Because it was bad.
With my labeled hard drive, because we used to share Xboxes, so we'd have to take our hard drive out, from the top.
That was terrible.
So we'd have to slap it in every time any of us were going to play.
That was awful. That was literally terrible. Honestly, the whole... Yeah, no, that was awful. But what I'm saying is, Switch has the Smash Bros. Thing. Yeah. You got.
We're basically saying. I was saying, do people still do this these days?
Yeah, people do.
Other
unfortunately,
than Sony, that we just saw.
Yeah, it's
clearly they do. Because even Xbox made a Gears of War one, I think, for Gears 5.
Wait, we should.
That was a while ago, but
we should look at some more crappy designs. We should. Yeah, pull up some bad.
Just type in. What would I even call this? Special edition console, limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition. Made at the sweatshop.
Oh gosh, that's an Xbox One. List of limited edition consoles. Oh yeah, this will
be funny.
This couldn't be perfect. They had so many just Xbox.
Xbox was obsessed with that, dude. They really.
Oh, this is not even. This is really old stuff. This is all just crappy Xbox.
It'll be funny. Well, it'll even be funny to see the stuff from back then, just to see how bad the tastes were.
What's your favorite special edition console? Okay, yeah.
Because
I guess I could just
a lot of bad ones.
It looks like there's a Starfield one right here. No, that's Halo. Oh, here's that Gears of One Xbox One I was talking about. Right here, let me. Here's a one with all of them, a bunch of them.
Oh,
this is the one we're talking about, dude. This is that one we had right here.
I'll say one thing: the design's better than I thought it was.
This is that one that we had. This is the exact one we're talking about from being kids. This Halo one right here.
That one's a little bit cooler than the other ones. If you look at that red one.
This is the Halo. This is the Series X Halo one. Which looks way worse.
Yeah, that was lazy. They tried.
Wait, I get this now. This is supposed to be his mask, his face visor color.
Yeah, and it's actually.
I did not.
I didn't connect
notice
it either,
that.
Honestly.
That is really cool. Now that I think about it,
the other one is
this
not
Minecraft
cool.
one's obviously. I think this is sick.
I don't know, man. It just looks so tacky. Having that in my room, I'm just dude, check it out.
Yeah, it is tacky, but it's cool.
It's real.
Here's
tacky.
that Gears one I was talking about.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's still not worth it.
No.
For how much it probably costs.
I guess that's what annoys me. If it wasn't.
Crap! I'm gonna just do images in limited edition console.
Yeah, if it wasn't.
There we go. This will be better.
If it wasn't.
What?
If it wasn't a lot of money for something that's so superficial, I wouldn't be so upset about it.
Here's the pink Sony one. 10,000
for a PS2. A pink PS2.
Oh, yeah, here's the pink. Yeah, that's
that is probably the
Dude,
laziest.
What the crap? I'm gonna have to. This is just the freaking actual page, not the photo.
That's. But a pink PlayStation 2 for $10,000.
To do this again because I clicked. Yeah, that is insane. That's insanity, dude.
10,000. Who at Sony was like, yeah, in the boardroom, like, yeah, here's a pink PlayStation 2. Like, who thought?
Here's some Sony ones. I actually like this Spider-Man one better.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does look better.
I would pick this over the one that they did.
You had such a cool concept with the Venom thing, but you just really screwed up with the execution. What is the one on the right?
I don't know. It looks like a Zelda thing.
It looks like they're literally copying Zelda. That's probably Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, you're probably right. And this is... God, like, who cares about this? This looks terrible. This is literally just they put orange on it.
They put Black Ops 3's logo. Yeah, I forgot Black Ops 3 was a PS4 game. I always forget that.
We look at this one.
What the the Hello Kitty Xbox?
Like a sticker or something. It can't be real.
That's old. That's like
Spider-Man one.
Original
that
Xbox.
Way more sleek to me. Even that controller's tight with the white and red. That's cool.
It's very simplistic. I'll say the controller is like very simplistic. What are these? So you got Gears of War. That kind of looks cool.
Star Wars.
Modern Warfare 3.
Ooh, the Star Wars one it's like C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah, that's
kind of cool.
That's a concept that would attract me to it.
And the other two, like, Gears looks okay. All the Call of Duty ones, I think, look like trash because they don't really have anything to go off of. What are you gonna do? Slap Bryce's face on it or something?
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Like I said, dude, this looks cooler to me.
Yeah,
I also think PS5 looks kind of dumb as a whole.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's. They definitely didn't make a design that was very interesting. They just kind of. It's interesting. It looks like you have a giant book. That's what a PS5 looks like. It looks like a book.
It does. None of these.
No.
What is this one?
No clue.
It's kind of hard to tell, but okay, Gears.
Yeah, What is this?
Sentinel Task Force.
The crap. It's like that's weird. What the crap?
That looks like a Gundam.
That's like a
logo.
Crappy looking GameCube. Like that's red. Oh, the Majora's Mask 3DS.
That's sick, actually.
Yes.
That's freaking sick.
3DS always did good with those things. They
always went all out on theirs.
They always cared. Oh my. Okay, yeah, that's EA Sports.
I would like the orange if you didn't have the EA Sports.
Yeah, I don't understand.
This is cool.
Yeah, that actually, someone thought about that. Okay. I'm a fan of SpongeBob. But
here's my thing, I'm always kind of afraid that the ones won't work as good as the regular ones.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just paranoia, but I'm always kind of like.
I don't blame you. Well, it's because it's a stupid thing that's like, it's just gussied up. It's stupid.
People tell me to play this game so much.
Oh, God of War.
I played the old ones, but what?
Tomb Raider, I guess.
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, that doesn't look like Tomb Raider. That
looks cool.
It looks cool.
First off, this is another thing I would be afraid that would break because it's so different.
It's so fancy looking.
I'd be like, is the cooling the same? Because I'd be worried about this thing.
Yeah,
but if you did them like this, that's one thing.
Interesting.
I still wouldn't buy them, but this makes me want to be like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I'll say that. Yeah, but it's interesting.
Cool. I mean, that looked like Nyan Cat. It's cute.
Yeah. Look at that. You got the Halo Infinite.
Starfield. I forgot they didn't do a console for Starfield. They did a controller and a headset for Starfield.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
They look cool.
Yeah, but they were like bragging about how cool it looked and how they're like industry level designers involved, and it's like
the headset, if it was good, looks cool, but I have hesitation. Like I said, I have hesitation with this kind of stuff.
It's a little plain.
The arts doesn't seem that good to me.
Yeah, it's a little plain to me. The Zelda, look at the Zelda Switch. Oh my gosh. No. No.
Because you're literally just getting like the Joy-Cons pretty much.
No, that's so bad. What were they thinking?
Is that the back of the Switch?
Yeah, what the crap were they thinking? Like, who... The Joy-Cons look terrible. Literally terrible.
So the Xbox hasn't really done one in a full system in a while, it seems
What
like.
is this? Gold and silver? Who cares? Like, who cares?
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Extremely superficial. Like, nobody cares.
Okay, so this is what I'm remembering. This controller right here.
Yeah.
You still have that. Isn't that the one you have?
Yeah, I think we might have had that.
I thought,
yeah.
Yeah, so it was with an Xbox One, not an Xbox.
Yeah, so this
Series
came
S.
with the
it was.
360.
I thought it was a 360. It's a one.
Yeah, that one was a 1. I think we had the one. I remember we had the green one as well, and that was supposed to be Agent Locke, and everyone hates Agent Locke. So I'm sure after Halo 5 story, they probably burned a couple of the Xbox Ones with Agent Locke's color scheme.
So the other one looked cooler than this.
Oh, yeah.
That 360 one looks cooler than this to me.
There was another green one that kind of looked cool. It had like orange on it. They made one for Locke and Chief, so that was kind of cool.
Okay, we're not really getting that many more here.
No, the Iron Man.
I'll have to
one looks
do
terrible.
research and find an actual good page for it.
Yeah, this.
So we can look at. More,
I mean, we already found some.
This is classic.
Yeah, no, the Game Boy.
14,000.
Yep. See what I'm saying? They guzzle it up. They're like.
Tell you the resale value on Pokemon stuff is insane. 7,000. I literally had this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had this Game Boy.
Interesting.
It is tight though. It is nice to like. I just need to like just seeing a picture is cool enough for me.
Yeah.
For the memories, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
It's like
just
Nintendo actually put time into some of theirs. Nowadays, they're lazy as crap.
The art on Pokemon games used to go hard.
Oh yeah, you mean
look at that Pikachu? That is sick.
Oh, agree. They understood how to actually make something appealing looking.
Oh, did you even see that? Or you didn't even see what I was looking at? Forgot. I just realized that you didn't even see. Like you didn't see the.
Oh no, I didn't see it at all. I was like,
yeah, you didn't see what I was just clicking on. No, I was looking at the old. It was like a Game Boy. I was looking at the art.
Yeah, no, those look amazing.
Like this.
I figured you were talking about like the watercolor art.
This is fire, dude.
No, the watercolor art always looked cool. It was always a nice look.
Yeah, I wish we would have had the whole conversation we had. We were like have a full conversation before. Yeah. Either way, it was a good convo. We literally had, and then we started talking about how we started talking about like buying the upgraded version for consoles isn't really worth it besides the memory.
No, it's like, dude, and even then it's like,
so once you said memory, I was like,
who cares?
Could be worth it.
I'm just like, who cares?
Because we were just thinking about how like the only time I've ever bought it because I think you should buy it was we were saying PS4, the original PS4 to the PS4 Pro was like a world of a difference.
Yeah.
I got the PS4 Pro because of how much better it was.
I got the PS4 at launch. Me and my brother did. We were like, who the crap made this piece of garbage?
And it sucked. I remember you guys had so many issues. We're like back to Xbox.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible. And even then, if I'm gonna be honest, dude, both of them still kind of sucked. Like they both did. And if I'm being
PS4
honest,
Pro impressed me a lot.
I'm talking about like just base Xbox One and base PS4. They both sucked. Like they weren't that impressive.
Yeah, Xbox One.
I
liked it and had it. I thought it was good.
It was
better than the original PS4.
No. It was better than the OG PS4, but it was nothing.
Remember the Ring of Death that would happen with the 360s?
Yeah, but the 360 had such a good library that no one freaking cared. Like, people say, "Oh, it was such a big deal." Oh, everyone who had the Ring of Death bought another 360.
PS3?
Yeah.
The PS3 sucked.
The PS3 was terrible. Now, it did sell more because of name. That's just how it is. Like,
I remember it costed so much.
Oh yeah, dude, $599 US. That was terrible. Now I do understand one thing that the PS3 did have. So the original PS3 that came out, you could play every PS2 game on that thing. So you basically had PS3 and PS2 games. So you had a massive library, like a massive library.
That's true.
And you could actually...
You know one thing I got my PS3 for so cheap because I bought it used.
Yeah.
And I never think to see if I can go to like reused game shops and like buy used... Not like GameStop because they basically charge you fullest price.
No.
But I used to go to like Disc Replay and stuff like that, and I'd be like, hey, do you have a PS3? And I got it for like half the price.
Yeah, dude, before the age of emulation for PS3 getting big, basically... Yeah, you had to buy a PS3, but nowadays it's so good, you don't even have to. That's what's nice. You don't have to buy a PS3.
I don't even know what I don't even really know what happened to my PS3, honestly.
So I
think my ex took it.
Oh yeah, I still have my PS3. I don't really need it anymore because now it's like they're so good at emulating it. It's so good that there's no reason to even own it at this point.
No, I understand.
I'm just saying it's kind of funny. Like these shops are just holding on. Like Disc Replay is holding on. Game Changers is holding on.
Disc Replay has cool stuff though.
Oh yeah, they got plenty of actual cool stuff.
I haven't looked to see if they have like used PS5s. I feel like I should.
You should. Honestly, you could get a deal on it.
Probably don't.
I doubt
just
it.
because I feel like they probably sell fast.
Well, I'm going to be honest, dude. With PlayStations, you got to wait for a long time before the price drops down for those.
Oh, I know, yeah.
It's not like an Xbox where, you can get it pretty fast. You can...
Or they give you like a version of like, oh, here's a Series S.
Yeah.
It's just like a cheaper version that's like pretty close to X.
It's close to the X. You don't need to buy the...
Sony doesn't do that. They don't give you like an eco-friendly... Like, here you go. Not break your wallet.
Here goes the disk drive. That's the only difference.
Mine doesn't have a disk drive.
Yeah, most people don't. I have one in my computer, but I'm old at heart, so I keep a disk drive.
I literally bought a PS4. I bought a PS4 to play Warzone on.
Mm-hmm.
And any other PS4 games. I was like, I'll play
you even said it was not that good.
Well, it wasn't as good as... Obviously, it's not going to like look as nice as my PC.
No.
But it, in terms of functioning, worked way better.
Well, yeah, because...
obviously, graphically, not even close.
Because, like I said, we've been through the discussion. Obviously, Warzone was not optimized at all for PC.
So, yeah, when Warzone was being like a travesty on my computer, I was like, oh, get a PS4. Kind of makes me wonder why I didn't just play on an Xbox One.
Because it probably, dude, it's...
Because we had Xbox Ones. I wonder why I decided to buy a PS... I feel like it's because I like their controllers better.
That's probably why.
I like their controllers. So I was like, I'll get a PS4. It's cheap, which it was so cheap.
It was an interesting...
I bought it refurbished, and it was, so cheap. And I still have it and still use it sometimes. I used it to play Fortnite for a while.
The PS4 was a good system. I liked it a lot.
The Pro was a good system.
The Pro was a good system, yeah, specifying. The Pro was a good system. I liked it a lot. It was fun. I mostly sold... Like I said, I sold it to my friend. I was like, you know what?
It makes sense. I don't even... At this point, I could get rid of mine. I was just... I got clickbaited because I thought it said that the new Spider-Man was playable on the PS4, and then I would have been like, I'm busting that thing out tonight.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, my friend... And you know what's funny? I look at it, and the graphics don't look any better than the other one, to be honest. They're... This is what people don't understand. I talked about this. Actually, I just talked about this So basically, I'm saying, I touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but at some point, dude, indie games are going to be the only viable solution to gaming because, I feel like AAA is out. AAA is going to be out at some point. It will be.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying it because remember back in the day when you had a 360 and you for years you could buy games for that thing. You could buy games over and over. They lasted so long, had such a long life cycle.
Made such good ones and supported it.
Yeah.
They supported the 360 for a while after even Xbox One came out.
It's the same with that crappy old computer I had too. It's the same with all the stuff I had back then. They would make so much stuff that could work on it. And I feel like all these companies are doing now is just guzzling people for money. I think that's crappy. I think indie games are where it's at. They optimize it for every platform. I honestly am hoping and praying that
it ran amazing for us. The finals ran amazing for both of us.
Yeah.
Me, it wasn't that surprising, but for you on PC, no issue.
Yeah, because no one optimizes crap for that. No one cares. Companies.
The only
don't
issue
care.
was us not being able to see each other online until we restarted our games,
and that was it. And
which it got fixed immediately.
Yeah, and what people don't understand is this is true. I implore the listeners, if we ever got big, I'm not saying we are. I implore everyone to just stop giving these people money. I'm done, dude. I actually am at a point where I'm just I can't even give them money anymore. I'm so bored of all this crap. I'm so bored of all this garbage. I want something new to come in and wow me like they used to. I want something to come in that's so cool, that has such an interesting thing, that has such a cool story or cool gameplay. I'm so tired of the same old garbage. There have been some games that have avoided that, but I just don't even care anymore, dude.
Not much.
I'm so tired of being oh, this game's kind of cool. I bought it this year, and then I'm I'm never going to touch this again. I would buy it. I did that with Resident Evil 4 Remake. I was this is kind of cool because I played a little bit of the original. I was oh, this is kind of cool. And then I'm
but it's a remake.
And I'm except they added so much to it. It's not even the same game.
Awesome.
So, and I was just
that's kind of cool.
My face was just
they don't really have to with a game like that.
I was yeah, that was pretty bad. I just didn't care. I was who cares?
I get what you mean, dude. I really do.
I honestly haven't cared about a game for years. And I would like indie people to come in, sweep the market. Please sweep the market. Please. Honestly, get these companies out of here. They're useless to us now. They've ruined gaming. They've made it just a massive money pit. I'm so tired of...
I feel similar in some ways.
Come on, people.
You were, very passionate
can we sit our butts down and be real here? They don't care, dude. They don't care. They just want to sell the next thing. And I'm just you know what? I'm going to be honest here. Pardon my French. Screw these guys. I'm done forever with them. I am done. I am done. I'm so tired of playing mediocre games with realistic graphics. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of being that game was all right. That was okay. I'm sick of Jedi Fallen Order. I'm sick of Jedi Survivor.
I'm definitely sick of that.
I'm sick of these games being shoved in my face. I'm sick of Call of Duty. I'm tired of all of it. Too. I'm sick of all of it. And I know.
Yeah, Call of Duty's been around for being sick of Call of Duty since it's been around since we were tots.
I'm just so tired of all this crap being shoveled.
The game I think is total trash, but
I'm just so tired of crap being shoveled in my face.
I don't know if I'll ever buy a COD again.
Same. I'm done with Call of Duty.
I don't think I think I'm over it.
Same here. I used to,
which is funny because at the beginning of this podcast, it was all I thought about.
Yeah, you're COD.
Well, Warzone.
And Warzone.
Warzone's the only thing I really... I know we talked about other CODs, but I'm saying Warzone is why I was obsessed with COD for so long.
And then guess what?
I haven't really played multiplayer that much.
Well, the multiplayer wasn't even that good.
This new Warzone's a freaking dumpster fire. I hate it.
I just don't even... I don't care anymore.
Play Fortnite.
And I'm also sick of Battle Royales. I'm being honest. I'm sick of those. I am actually tired of seeing them constantly being shelled out over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. As long as they're actually fun, I'm not. But people aren't really making new ones anymore.
But for a while, it was just over.
Yeah, I think we're like done. I think the making new ones of Battle Royale is just over.
It's just like I don't
think it's a bad thing.
I agree with you. I'm not saying
we already have ones that are good.
Yes,
like people play Warzone. People play PUBG still. Yes. PUBG kind of like came back in a way.
Yeah, it did. It did. And
cool.
I got all I wanted out of the game, to be honest. I you know, it's funny. I had my times with it. I had my little honeymoon. I got to go to it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this game. It was fun, but it's just like at some point for me, it's just like I don't have a motivation to sit there and grind a game. It just feels like I'm doing the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm dropping on this map, killing this guy, and I'm like,
yeah,
you know, that's when I was like, this game's fun, but like I said,
I'm listening.
As with gaming as a whole, I just have lost such like my passion for this game, like just the industry that I used to have is just gone. It's literally gone. I have
that too is because we've been doing this for years. I don't think people say that enough.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
People are like, we've been gaming for childhood, you know, like that's why it gets, you know, it's nice. I felt like back then for a long time there was like this like, oh, groundbreaking genre.
Yeah, groundbreaking genre after groundbreaking
people were
genre.
More creative. People were more creative, but that is true. People were better at making games, but also people like were more innovative then, and stuff was new then.
Yes.
But we're at a point now where it's like companies are like, okay, well, this sells.
It's just the same thing over and over again. So I'm like, you know what?
But you got to remember, too, to be fair, like we've been doing this for a long time at this point.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, back then I was constantly seeing something that was amazing, and I don't see anything amazing anymore. There is nothing around that has been like.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We both said it's been stale for a long time. I don't disagree with you.
And I agree with you. Yeah, as time's gone on, yeah, obviously it's going to get old in some ways if you've done it for like years.
Like besides multiplayer stuff, you know,
yeah, I don't.
But actually, I do have moments of times when I'm like, okay, I really do like this new game. I talked about Oxenfree, which there's an Oxenfree 2 that I got to play. Like, there are things that I'm like, oh. Like, it is... But that's indie.
Yes.
I guess Oxenfree 2 is owned by Netflix now, but the idea is from an indie developer.
You see what I'm saying? Like, at some point, like, I don't know. It just feels like... I
said to do Kingdom Hearts 3, but I still haven't even...
Yeah. And yeah, no, that is going to be a running...
I should just jump to 3. I keep being like, I want to play them all in order. No, but realistically, I'm not going to do that.
The only thing that I would recommend playing is just Birth by Sleep, and that's like the easiest. After I played the game, I trashed it before on a previous episode. Easiest game ever.
Yeah.
And if you just... It has 3 storylines, but you don't have to play them all. You just play one. You just play one
story.
That
looks fun.
And I would recommend it. It's a new experience, which is nice. It's a new experience. The story.
I watched you playing that for a bit, and I was like, "This is pretty cool."
It's a story you haven't experienced. I think you'd be interested in it. There's a lot of if you remember like Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3, right? It's kind of like those in terms of like how its story is structured, like with its villains and characters. A lot of it matches the tone of like a Star Wars movie.
That's awesome. I'll definitely have to check that. I actually got that in the bundle thing that I got.
You should check it out. I am currently on one of the stories, and I finally figured out a way to actually make the game easier for myself. So on like a different difficulty, but what I'm saying is like I have not seen anything that has wowed me. Of any genre. It doesn't matter. Single player or multiplayer. I'm just like...
Yeah.
That's all you got? I've seen this franchise for years. Oh, you're bringing Halo back. That I was excited for. I was like, dude, you're bringing Halo back. It's like, interesting. And then the second that it was like, and then I was like, oh, they can't possibly screw this up. And then I was like,
we were big defenders of it too. Pretty much everybody thinks that was a huge flop.
I was like, you know what? I think
they were going to support it for 10 years. I really think 343 is they just don't care.
No, they don't. I think that was, for me, the nail in the coffin on gaming. That was the final nail for me for a while. For a long time. I may come back. Who knows? There may be something that will wow me and bring me back. But right now...
I mean, you still play video games.
I still play video games, but I'm saying like modern, current games. Oh, yeah. Like I'm saying,
I don't even know. I don't really play modern. Well, the finals we played.
Yeah, but that was like.
But am I gonna play it a lot?
No,
not really.
I don't think there's ever gonna be a game I'll ever play a lot anymore. Honestly, like ever again.
I mean, at this point, Fortnite's been around for a long time.
Yeah, Fortnite's
old. I'm not gonna say it's old. But it's like, it's not what I would consider like, hey, a new game, and that's the only game that I feel like playing like ever, like right now.
And that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad, honestly. The fact that is the only game.
Like, yeah. Honestly, that's.
And that's a game from 2017.
Yep.
It's like
anyway. There is a video I want to watch. I know we might go a little over, but it's fine.
That's fine. I don't care, dude. I don't.
Let me.
So like I'm not like, dude.
I have a controversial title. You'll see.
I'm not gonna be like, I have so much. Dude, I got too much time, bro.
What's up?
I'm not like, dude. I got so much time tonight, dude. I got so much time of things to do. It's like, no, I don't.
A controversial,
like my time.
Controversial title here.
So
controversial title.
Alrighty.
Title: I'm sick of fake gamers.
What is it? What is a fake gamer?
Well, we're about to find out. I haven't watched it, but it got a lot of views in a short amount of time. I haven't looked at the comments at all, but. Of course, it's got a fat sponsor on it. This girl, I think, this is irrelevant, but I think she's so cute, and I have for years. She used to be big in, she used to work for IGN, I think. Even though a lot of people hate IGN. I think she also, admitted that IGN kind of, fluffs their scores for certain games.
Oh, they do, because money. That's every reviewer is just kind of lame now. There's no reason to look at the reviews of a game anymore.
I'm going to see if we agree or disagree with this. It's kind of a controversial video. Thought it'd be fun to... I don't know if it's controversial, but it got a lot of views in a short amount of time, which the title itself is whoa. But yeah, this girl is great. She's cute.
This video is sponsored by...
I'm just talking about her looks. She also has great content.
My partner, Geology. There's a new kind of fake gamer on the rise, and I, for one, am sick of it. You mean to tell me we're just letting these people walk the streets, pretending that they play video games, having opinions on video games, and they don't even like video games? Not on my watch. I'm not having it. Genuinely, though, this is a thing, and I do think these people are kind of causing problems, and that I have also contributed to those problems, and it only occurred to me recently. And so I wanted to make this video, which I'm sure is going to upset some people, but here we are. There is a recent and growing culture of people who just hate video games being very involved in video game communities. I see it in my comment sections all the time, and I'm always a little confused by it. Anytime that I've mentioned in any video the amount of good games that came out in 2023, there's always this response of people being like, actually, old games shit. Look at all the bad.
And they are. I'm gonna be honest.
This is weirdly talking about what we just talked about.
But. Yeah, I'm and they are. Dude,
Let's hear what she says. Let's hear her out. There's probably a lot of stuff we haven't played.
Bad games that came out this year. The day before.
Actually, I know there's a lot of stuff we haven't played.
I always have to look it up.
Also, this is Elgato, right? People have a cone for... That's the...
This is what I'm saying, dude. Unless something...
Elgato has a cone... People have such a cone for this brand. It's the prestigious brand.
This is what I'm trying to say. It's okay...
Have you heard of Elgato?
Yeah, like they had capture cards and stuff too, and
No.
that's what they would sell all the time.
Oh, I forgot my capture card that I got is literally Elgato.
Yeah, people love that brand. I honestly never had an Elgato. I've never had anything Elgato.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
What I was gonna say is this. Look, if people like these games, that's fine. But for me, unless I see something that's gonna knock
we don't
me
know what
into
she's
my
even
socks,
talking about.
I don't care.
Like we don't even know what she's gonna say.
Because I forget the name of the game. Skull Island, Rise of Kong, Gollum. All these terrible video games. All games
that is terrible.
They all have battle passes and microtransactions, and they're all garbage.
In a funny way.
Just directly translates to you don't play many video games. Like if you think that all games have those problems or that all games suck, you're kind of firsthand admitting that you don't like video games, right? That's what you're telling me. So that's my first thesis here. If you're the kind of person who says, oh, all video games are shit, you're not playing the right video games. There are a lot of really great video games.
Yes, I agree with you.
There are literally more than I would have time to play. You would have trouble while also having a life, even finishing the amount of games that were very, very, very good, that were not predatory and did not have predatory practices that came out in 2023.
That's another thing, too, is just as getting older. That's another thing that she's bringing up. It's like, we have things to do. So we can't just, like, I heard her talk about it. I also heard this other YouTuber, Omni, talk about it. He was talking about, like, when you're old, he was like, okay, and I know we don't like, I haven't really played Rise of Kingdoms, but we know we probably won't like it.
Yeah.
But he was like, he bashed it big time when it first came out, and then he's like, you know what, it isn't that bad. But he's like, I say it's not bad now because I had a time off. Like, I had like 2 weeks to just play that. He's like, it's the kind of game where like you need to spend, like, you need to have a lot of time for it. It's not fun. So, which also, in my mind, translates to there's nothing going on, but which is probably true. But I'm saying, like, as you get older, right, we have way more responsibilities. Like, we can't game without responsibilities anymore.
Yes.
So it's like, I can't just sit there and play a game. If I'm sitting there, like, you're thinking about the time you're spending playing that game of, like, what else you could do or a different game you could be playing. Because you don't have a lot of time. So you're like, okay, why am I playing this? I should be playing something better. Or something, you know what I mean? Which I think is another reason we go back to playing old games we love so much. Because, like, well, we know we like this experience. So, like, why waste time on something that we might not like?
I guess what I'm saying is, for me, it's like, if you don't wow me in those first hours, I'm bored. For me, I'm picky now. I can't be like, it's like Assassin's Creed Mirage. Seriously, the way the cutscenes were presented, if a character's not interesting to me in hour one, I'm done. Like, I can't sit there and play a game.
That's a lot to ask.
That's the thing. Fair. Yes, but back then it was that way. I would see a character and a personality, and I would be wowed by it. You didn't even have to have much dialogue. The character would wow me, like Master Chief. Every scene.
Like, after you see more, after you, like, you've seen so many good characters, it's going to be hard to come up with a new character who's going to wow you.
Yes, but I'm saying Assassin's Creed always thinks outside of the box. That's why I'm
saying
surprised
Assassin's Creed already done so many good characters
that end the series.
It would be hard for them. I don't disagree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, stop using these old properties is what I'm saying.
Yeah, even
as a nostalgic gamer, I'm getting a little tired of seeing the old properties too.
Yeah, well, so is everybody. Like, people there is a time limit to everything. Like, that's for sure. Like, that's, like, that goes without saying. Like, there's stuff that needs to be down. I would say that Assassin's Creed could have been gone a long time ago.
Yes.
But that's fine. You know, it isn't. We don't have to play it. But there's a lot of people who don't like the new stuff, so it's not like it's...
No, this isn't a hot take.
Crazy of a take.
No.
I think that I'm saying that, like, time plays a part into it. And once you go back to, like, being done with school and, like, being back in the workforce, like, you're going to remember, like, even when you were in the job force, it's like, the time you have when you're not at work, you're like, oh, dang. you're either super tired, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or there's just a lot of like, oh, back in the day, it felt like we had infinite time when you're a kid playing games.
You do have.
You're just like, oh, I could play this. Yeah, this is okay, but like I'm gonna beat it because why not? Like, and you just didn't have money back then, so when you got a game, even if you didn't like it, you're like, well, I might as well finish it. Like I could get a new game for a while. Like,
I'm not saying there's outside. There's not outside factors.
I understand. This isn't even me trying to convince you of anything. I'm just like bringing up a concept of like, I miss then. Like, there's that part of video games of like being like, oh, I could just play this. Like, once it hits the weekend and I'm gaming, I'm like, every second I'm like, ooh, I just spent 6 hours playing that. Like, there goes a chunk of my weekend. Like, hopefully that was worth gaming on. It has nothing to do with me being like, of like, oh, I shouldn't play video games. It has to do with like, ugh. There's like it's almost like there's so many things I want to play or I think I want to play and I just don't have time to. But whereas when I was a kid, you have like infinite time.
Yeah.
You just have to go to school or to get your school done.
And school was much simpler. At that stage, school's a lot simpler.
10 times easier.
And at high school, yeah, it's like...
That is like back then, it's just like the whole kid, like, it's not just with video games. Yeah. But I'm not trying to get on like a whole kid rant. I'm just trying to get on like that responsibility, like that, like, dude, I have infinite time. I could play this game all day. And it's like, and then you're like, this was amazing. And then I'm going to play it all day tomorrow. And then I'm going to pick a different one to play all day. It was like, the concept of time is just different. Yeah. And when you're older, you're like, ooh,
yeah.
Like, I could do the dishes, but it's like, well, you could just sit and be like, I'm just going to play this game. Like, I probably should have started a game on break. Like, I should have started a game on, like, these breaks I just had from work. I probably would have really enjoyed it. I didn't even think about it. But, like, oh, I should beat Kingdom Hearts 3 on these, like, 8 days that I have off. I didn't even think about it.
Well, you want me to be honest? A second thing. I agree with you, but I also don't think a game needs to be 30 hours long. If you want me to be honest, I think games shouldn't. I think games, if you're doing a story game, I think, yeah, back in the day, I was like, as a kid, I was like, dude, I can sit here and do this all day. The reason why I can't necessarily do that as much anymore is, yes, that reason is because of the time thing.
It's like you're just more aware of time as you're older, which makes sense.
But also,
when you're a kid, you just think about how you have infinites of it.
But also, too,
it feels like you have infinite time.
It just drags on. Sometimes it just drags on. It's like, dude, you don't need a story to be 30 hours. I can go back to any of the Arkham games. I can beat those any day. Like, I can beat those any day because they're short. They're fun. I don't have to do all the side content. Never even did that as a kid. I want games to go back to that. Single-player games, at least. To where it was
I feel like Uncharted is, like, a perfect example of, like, the time frame of, like, oh, I could beat this in, like, a day or two.
This feels like adult video games.
I like that. I do like that.
Those big games kind of feel like kid games to me, in my honest opinion.
Well, that's why I shy away. How long would you say Kingdom Hearts 3 is? Is that a long one?
Honestly, it is pretty long. Unless you go on, like, baby easy difficulty. If you're on, like, baby easy difficulty, you'll fly through the game without even thinking about it.
Well, that's probably what I'll do.
Like, and I honestly don't blame you because it is, in my opinion, it's more so boring just because the story, like, there's a point where it gets boring because it's like, let's get to the point of the actual story. I can't play these games where, like, look, that's why I criticize Disney World so much. Even as a kid, I was like, is there really anything happening here? Like, when is the story going to show up? Where is the plot? I think that's just padding. I don't like padding in video games.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's true. But, you know, there's always been games that are long, and I used to like games that are long.
Oh, same here. I used to love them.
But like I said, I think that's just another thing that has to do with time. It's like, and our attention spans are different, I'm sure, but
it's just
boring. But it's like, back then, I used to love Morrowind. I would hate Morrowind if I played it now.
Yeah. No.
I used to love that game, but I don't even want to touch Skyrim or anything like that with a stick. Oblivion, any of it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame.
I wouldn't even want to go back to Morrowind doing it.
I don't blame.
Like it doesn't have anything to do with them being bad. It's just that it's too long. No. It's stuff I don't want. I don't care. Yeah, no. I don't need a separate world for me to like be in.
Yes,
I need a fun story that's a fun gameplay and it's quick.
Same
but
here.
But there's types of games like that out there still.
Linearity is good in my opinion.
Me too. Like 100%, which we've talked about. But like I said, it comes down to time of like you're just a lot more conscious of like time. It's like, I don't because you think playing video games is a waste.
No. Honestly, that
you're like, well, I have a short amount of time. I want to be playing something really good.
Yeah, and that's honestly, you know what? That's a good thing. I think that's a good thing, a net positive, because a lot of times, back in the day, you would like, and it was cool back in the day, but you'd spend money willy-nilly, and you would get some dud games. You would get dud games that you wouldn't play. Yeah. Even as a kid, and you're like, this, like, who thought this was a good idea? Like,
I definitely bought games that I tried and was like, ooh,
like
I'm not gonna finish.
Who thought this was good? I bought Stalker. That's a game that's not that good. Stalker 1 was boring. It was literally the definition of make your own story.
Oh boy,
with no voice acted dialogue or anything. You had to read everything.
Ooh, that's rough.
And it was dialogue choices. I would be okay. Like, Pokemon was nice because it was just, there was no choices in the matter. So
no choices. Simple text. It's like there aren't long conversations.
No.
The storyline is like fun and like to the point. Like,
yeah.
I don't play many Pokemon. I don't really play like that's one thing Pokemon's good at is you're not like you don't get to a point where you're like shut up, like stop talking.
You're not like shut up.
They're very like to the point. The interactions are very to the point. It's
That's part of why I liked Telltale games. It feels like they kind of cut out the bull.
Sick, yeah.
They cut out the bull crap of like I love RPGs as much as the next guy. I love them, but there's a point where I'm like, sometimes the combat is so bad, and I just want to do the story. Like I played Skies of Arcadia. The combat in that is miserable.
Mm.
It's just it's like basic turn based. Like they didn't do anything interesting with it. I'm like,
I don't like that game.
The story for me is just like the only thing that's like.
Yeah, that's what I like the most about it too.
And I like that they kind of cut out
those
the bull
games
crap.
are almost always about the story though, like turn based stuff for the most part.
And they cut out the bull crap with the Telltale games. I wish there was a little bit more gameplay. It doesn't have to be much, but you know what I'm saying. Like this whole thing is what we're boiling down to is yes, we're older. Yes, we have more time. I mean, we have less time. We definitely have less time. And also, yes, we're looking for an experience that's more interesting. Times have changed. Times are a-changing. You'll get there soon, kids. You'll get there soon. Don't you worry.
You will indeed.
Unless you're a Twitch streamer, then you won't get there. But like a famous Twitch streamer. But if you're around here, where we're at, the common working man, you're gonna be bored. And if you don't have an experience that's like that.
Worth your time.
Yes.
100%. Anyway, so far, despite good conversation, I still don't really know where she's going.
Tell me all video games are shit these days. I suspect that you only play really specific kinds of AAA games, like really specific, like repetitive, potentially exploitative releases, and that I hope that you're able to broaden your horizon on the kind of games that you play, because that is an issue. If you only play games you don't like or only play bad games,
Okay.
Not only are you not going to like video games, you're also going to be giving those...
Who's playing games they don't like on purpose? No one.
Yeah, no.
Unless you're like trying to have fun playing a bad game.
Yeah.
But then they have to be like really bad though, like jokingly bad.
So bad it's fun.
Like, I feel like playing Golem would be fun because it looks terrible.
Yeah, no, well, and it's also short too. It's a short game. Honestly, for me, that would be more interesting than half of the games that I've seen. So I don't really know where this is going. It's like you have me and then you kind of lose me.
Yeah. Things money and thus creating more. The reason that we keep getting battle passes is because people keep buying battle passes.
Yes.
When people talk about like,
dude, what is wrong with battle passes though? I don't get people's hate of battle passes.
Okay, so this is where I have the split there. For me,
what's bad
I miss when cosmetics were just you not buying something to work up to a thing. I miss when you just buy the game and you could unlock the cosmetics. But people don't
understand that if they have a free to play game,
yes,
it's the best way to get money.
That is true. I agree with you.
So I don't get why people whine. You got a game for free.
I agree with you, but that still doesn't.
I'm not saying you're whining. I'm saying like people get so like battle passes.
I'm saying I kind of get the mentality though, because it's like when I'm playing Halo. I don't want a battle pass for Halo. For me, I was not happy.
You don't have to buy it.
That's
you
true.
Don't have to buy the battle pass.
I didn't,
you can
but
play
I get
the multiplayer.
I get no cosmetics though, and that's kind of irritating to me.
Well, they give you some. It's just like rare. It's like free. Battle passes always give you free stuff. It's just like takes a while and it's not that much.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, Halo still gives you free stuff for playing the game though.
That's true.
Like seasonal armor and stuff like that.
See, that's cool. If it was like that everywhere, I wouldn't be so upset about it.
I get it, but I'm saying like I understand you're saying you don't want to have to spend money for cosmetics.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. But the multiplayer is free.
Yes, true. And so that's the only way it's going to go.
I'm just saying things are free.
But it is a necessary
money out of thin air.
I'm saying it is a necessary evil though.
I don't even think it's evil.
To me it is. I'd rather just buy
play a free game and don't buy it.
Just buy a game.
Don't buy the battle pass.
Personally, I'd rather do that, but that's me.
I would rather have free options. Why would it suck to have free things that you don't have to pay for?
I don't know. It seems like when I don't know. It's I understand.
I'm saying like so many people say that they're like battle pass sucks.
But I will say I don't think it's the worst thing to happen to gaming.
Also, dude, if you most of them, almost like so many of them, if you play the game, you get the next one for free.
Now that is cooler than I thought.
It's like if you all the games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, as long as you don't spend your stuff in the shop. Like spend your extra V-Bucks in the shop because it's like, or whatever you're playing, you get enough in the battle pass if you complete it to buy the next one.
See, that's actually cool.
Also, you're getting it for free if you play the dang game.
That's true. I agree. I'm not saying, look,
I'm
not saying it's the worst thing that ever happened to gaming like these people.
I'm not even like upset. I'm not upset.
But for me, I'm just
have
like,
a different opinion.
For me, I'm just
saying. I don't get the hating.
Part of me misses it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the cosmetics is just the best thing they can monetize. It's just the best.
And it makes sense.
Option.
It makes sense.
Like, what else would they even do? It basically would make you you just have to pay for the game every time.
That's true.
You'd have to just. But then these games that want to continuously do online stuff still need to make money.
That's true.
So they'd have to sell something.
No. As a business practice, it makes 100%
sense. People get so
sense.
weird about like games having transactions when it's like.
But I also agree with you.
Continue.
It is not the worst thing that has happened to gaming. I think people demonize it too much, in my opinion. It's like I understand. It's like, look, I get it. If you miss those days, that's fine, but you're never going to get those back, and you are correct 100%. They can't fund games without those.
When you say you're missing, you mean you miss like paying that one-time fee for a game and then that's it?
Yes, that's what I kind of miss, personally.
Yeah, I mean that means you have to pay for everything.
True.
So it's nice having things that like so many free options.
That's true.
But yeah, actually, I just don't understand. I guess I could understand if like the battle pass pushes you ahead in the game a bunch or something, or
that's true.
Is like a pay to win feature.
Some games have that, sadly. Some games.
It's like Diablo has a battle pass. I'm like, why would I ever buy that?
Yeah, no.
It's like I paid $60 for the whole game. I don't need.
Yeah, no, that's
I've had cosmetics. Yeah, you have in the I don't care.
I guess I'm more so saying for paid experiences they shouldn't have battle passes.
Yeah, it's like what would it be for?
Sometimes you know I mean? Sometimes it is cosmetics. Sometimes they'll charge you on top of that. But I'm saying
like why?
Cash. That's all it is.
Like, dude, Diablo's hitting us with a battle pass when I paid $60 for $70 for the game.
Yeah, don't get me started on the $70 thing.
In my mind, dude, it's like, bro, even care because I ain't ever gonna buy that.
And also, I do find it funny. One thing I did get annoyed by is the fact that they say microtransactions ruin an entire game. That is something that is so...
See, that's another thing I'm saying.
That is very silly. An entire game is ruined because you have to pay for a battle pass?
I'm not saying that's what she's saying, but it seems like she's on that zone of, like, when you're playing terrible, preying on you. I'm like, first off, unless you're a child, nobody is preying on you. Like, no. You could maybe say Fortnite is kind of predatory to children because it makes them want to spend their money. But the kids are going to be spending their money on something anyways.
How is it like? How is selling a skin a predatory practice?
I don't know. These people, it's like people thought loot boxes in Overwatch. They're like, this is predatory.
That was not predatory. What was predatory?
Like, it's just skins.
Was Battlefront 2's loot boxes? Those were predatory.
Because they gave you ability. They gave you stuff that's like helps you in game. That's not cool.
Yes.
But it's like if they're just giving you skins, like it's a loot box. No. It's like gambling.
It's
I'm like, you don't have to spend your money on anything, and you get free loot boxes.
A free loot box is cool.
I didn't spend a dime on loot boxes, and I had a ton of skins in Overwatch.
And that was awesome. Loot boxes were cool.
That's what I like. I love the surprise of what you're gonna get.
Yeah, same.
People say it's gambling. It's like you're an idiot for spending your money on it.
I wish
they aren't predatory. You're just a moron.
I wish they were in more games, to be honest. I wish loot boxes would kind of come back.
Me too. Honestly,
personally, I think they incentivize play.
I like them.
Same here, dude. I never thought loot boxes were bad. I have no idea what these people are talking about.
I'm curious if she gives an example, because it's like, what game are you talking about? First off, she brought up battle passes, which is just like, okay.
It is low-hanging fruit.
Let's see what she's got.
Vote with your wallet with video games. The problem is we are voting with our wallets. The games community is repeatedly telling publishers that it will spend money on microtransactions and battle passes, and
who cares?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna make
Am I like? Is this like a?
Listen.
She's. I think she's like my age. I feel like this is just like a boomer take.
Listen, I said I was upset with those. But I am not like, this is the difference. I'm not going to...
If you are, you are.
Look.
I'm asking you to clarify.
Listen, for me, I am a half and half person. Where it's like, it is a necessary thing. So people should shut up about it. I agree with you. I think people should shut up. It's a necessary thing. How are they going to sell you... How are they going to sell the game to you? How are they going to make money if they can't do that? Would you rather have them charge you for maps? Now, I will say one thing. I would be okay with charging for maps if it makes those maps better, depending on the game.
True.
See, that's what I'm trying to say is I would be okay with being charged for a couple things if it allows the dev team to make things better. That's more so what I'm thinking of. If it is a superficial thing that they're not going to do anything about, then I think it's stupid to have in the game.
Yeah,
That's me clarifying.
Pre-orders.
Yeah, this is not... Okay, that makes sense. But this... I don't...
Dear God, stop pre-ordering video games. I don't know why people do this. And I wanted to make this video for two reasons. One, to tell you about some of the amazing games that came out this year. And
wait a second, what does she mean don't pre-order games? Who cares?
Yeah, I don't understand.
What is that?
What are you talking about? You didn't even specify...
To talk about, like, the separate parts of this problem. Okay. Now, I'm not absolving the games industry of a lot of issues. There are a lot of issues. The problem that I have noticed is a culture of perpetuating the issues, which, again, I've contributed to. I think this has only happened more recently. We used to just forget about bad games. But now, when we talk about a game like The Day Before, which, again, I had to look at the name of because I always forget what it's called because it's so fucking generic. This was a game that effectively got skyrocketed to popularity because everybody assumed it would be a scam, and then it came out and it was bad, and then the servers were getting shut down. I actually haven't played it and considered making a video about it, and that's sort of when I realized the problem. That I know about this bad game, you know about this bad game, I would be telling you more about this bad game. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm not going to play bad games again. It's funny. But why continue to perpetuate the bad and signal boost the bad so much when there are literally more good games than most of us can even afford to buy? The same thing happened with Skull Island Rise of Kong, and the same thing happened with Golem, which again, I played on this very channel for longer than I played games that I really liked this year. I didn't play a game like Dredge, which is like absolutely one of my favorite games of the year. I did speak about it, but I didn't play it here. And we basically created this culture of like really, really, really signal boosting bad video games to the extent that I think it might be happening intentionally in some cases. By spending so much time highlighting the things we don't like, which there are things in games that I think are the worst that they've ever been. There are things that I think are really,
there are positive things. I can think of good things in the games. I just
I've
don't
only
play
bought
single player
one
games
ever,
very often.
and it was a dog in Sea of Thieves.
I
Rare
don't
is
play
one of
any
my
new
favorite
ones.
games.
But for stuff that we like, it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
For series that we like. That's just a fact.
That's what I'm saying. Don't sit here and like pretend.
We're not saying like, oh, everything's bad.
No.
We're saying that what we play of what we used to love is bad now.
I've never said, dude, when we say gaming is bad, we are talking about AAA games. People don't understand that. That is what we're talking about. We're not talking about indies and stuff. We're not talking about other experiences.
I mean, just imagine the travesty of Halo, dude. And I know you're numb to it, but it still stings for me.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Where I'm like, dude, just Halo in general. I could stop what you're saying right now and be like, Halo, and your conversation's over. It's been a beloved series that we didn't even necessarily think needed to die.
No.
And you killed it.
Yeah, they did, and I'm sad. They could have expanded the series. I would have loved for some more spin-off games, personally. I would have loved for RTSs. I would have loved different stuff. Like different genres.
That would have been cool, you're right.
But no, that's what I think is gonna... I think what they need to do is do that. And I heard they are starting... They might be trying to make spin-offs and like branching out like genre-wise.
I didn't want to get my hopes up, but we'll see.
Yes, I'm happy to support them. I won't buy battle passes for...
I'm just saying... Okay.
First off, the demons of gaming.
I could literally just say Halo, and it's like, what you're saying is wrong. We've grown up with Halo.
Yes.
Now. We grew up with Assassin's Creed. Garbage now.
Yes. I love how she has to throw out the battle passes comment again. Again.
And Sea of Thieves, Rare is one of my favorite studios. I'm happy to support them. I won't buy battle passes for any game ever. I feel
you're just a
that is that is cuckoldry. That is
it's one thing if you just don't want to spend your money. It's another thing to like shame people for wanting to buy a battle pass.
Yes. Look, if it was a game where you get better equipment or better things, I'd understand.
Exactly.
I'm not sitting here saying that's when I complain.
I'll never buy a battle pass. I'll never buy a battle pass.
That's when I complain. That's when I complain about it. If it's just cosmetic, who gives a rip? I've even said that before.
I feel negatively about plenty of parts of the live service push because it means that we are getting less video games overall and instead are getting more video games that want to consume and steal all of our time.
So she's saying, she's on a different spectrum of like, she seems like more of a single player.
Yes.
Gamer.
And
so are you.
In this climate, baby, it's not good for us. It's not good.
So she's saying that if there's battle passes, that keeps people playing those games and not making. They aren't developing new games, and kids aren't playing new games. They're just playing these live service games,
and that's fine. Who, honestly, in my opinion, who gives a rip? Honestly,
that makes me sense why she's. At least I know why she hates.
Like I don't like. I understand. Saying,
I think that's stupid. Just we have a ton of options of games and a ton of options of free games because of live service stuff.
Yes.
So I don't get the
live service is not the cancer of gaming. Now, it does make me sad when a game just completely dies, but I understand that just happens. Like that just happens to every game. An online game just dies. There is no longevity to it. I used to have an edgier mindset on it, but I've started to realize, even just seeing like with what you've said, I'm like, you know what? You got a point. I mean, they're honestly the most profitable form of game you can make. So why would anyone?
Good point.
Yeah, like why? I understand if you like miss some of the old stuff, but that's not going to come back. So you kind of have to get over it.
Like, not buying battle passes is, I don't know. Like for not buying battle passes is totally fine, but when you're like holier than thou about it, that's cringe.
Yes.
That's cringe.
If you're doing if you're doing
not even because I don't buy that many battle passes. Like, it's not like I'm like every battle pass I gotta get.
If you're doing this for a statement against cosmetic battle passes, you got a bit of problems here. You are virtue signaling for sure.
That, I think, is a really negative part of the video game industry, that there are certain publishers that are trying to shift heavily towards specifically live services in the interest of monetizing the amount of hours that you play in a different way. And thus, they kind of have to forcibly make games more addictive to keep you engaged in that one game, to keep getting money from you for 1,000 hours or whatever. Like, that, I think, is a whole minefield that maybe I should make a separate video about predatory practice in the game.
Okay. When you say predatory practices,
what are you talking about? It's like,
yeah, when you say predatory practices, because when you say, oh, they make games addictive, I'm like, that means it's a good game.
This is what she's not understanding.
Because they cut a game when games are addictive. You mean when games are good?
This is what she's not understanding.
What?
If I were her, I would have brought up the point that if I was like, let's say I was on her side, I'd be like, oh, these games die and they're just gonna make another one, and I'm gonna lose all my stuff in the sequel or whatever. Like, you could make a point there, but she's not making that point. She's just being like
what?
She's explaining like Destiny. Like, let's say I got like cosmetics in Destiny or something, or. That's what I'm saying, is like a game that has a 2 in it. You don't get like a benefit
Destiny, bro,
for buying the next game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like I'm saying if they were to present an argument, that would be a better argument than this. This is not. She's not presenting anything to anyone. She's just saying. You know what? All she's saying is 2 words. All it sounds like to me is microtransactions. Predatory, loot boxes. Actually, it's 4 words, and live service games. Like, it's just a bunch of buzzwords.
I just feel like if you're saying
like it is a bunch of
companies
buzzwords.
Are making more addicting games.
How's
addicting? If a game's addicting, that means it's a good game. That means you like playing it.
How's that a problem?
What's bad about that? If that makes you spend time and then spend money, that's on you. Don't take responsibility off yourself if you're spending money. If you have people who are like, I'm spending too much money, I can't help it, like, they have a problem.
You are a whale. That's what you are. You are a whale. Yeah. That's what they're called, whales. Where you like.
So it's mobile gaming. Yeah, whale.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
So it's like they choose to spend their money that way. Like, whatever. I don't. Yeah. She's saying things that are like, you're okay, addicting game. That means it's a good game, so a positive thing. I want my games to be like less fun to play, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Games industry, or things that I'm really concerned about. I've definitely been meaning to make a video about advertising and how bad I think that's going to get. So maybe I'll do that soon. This video is not about that. There are things that I think are negative, and I don't think we should ignore those negative things. They should be spoken about.
Elaborate.
The problem is the speaking doesn't help very much. Not only are we advertising the games that we don't like in a lot of cases, and again, not talking about games that we do like,
to do with anything.
Like I said, gamers are already kind of voting with their wallets.
Who doesn't like talking about games they like? I would much rather talk about games I like over games I don't like.
It's funny talking about trash games.
It's just that, guess what? A lot of stuff sucks right now. So that's why we have a lot to say.
Yeah, stop going through this.
That doesn't mean anybody's saying that nothing is good.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about?
You know, it's funny. Her argument for like one part of it was like, yeah, you know, that kind of makes sense. The beginning part, in hindsight, it's like, you know, that makes sense. And then immediately she just goes into repeating a bunch of gaming buzzwords. That's all she's doing. For views. That is what she is doing. That is the easiest way to get views on something. Is to.
I'm not trying to bash her. It's so funny. I'm not trying to bash her too hard because like I'm not bashing her. I'm just like disagreeing. I want it to be known that it's like not personal at all.
And I
watch her content all the time. And I think that she's fantastic.
And I was not trying to bash battle passes or people who were buying them. I'm not saying, dude, look at you for buying these. Like I'm not like, look at you, you're dumb. I
just want to clarify. I'm just disagreeing with her. I am not in any way like I watch her content. I've watched her for years. This has nothing. I'm not like. I get like sometimes I sound like sarcastic and rude. It's not towards her at all. I'm just disagreeing and I'm being like over dramatic about it. But it's like I love her content. Not that she cares or anybody cares. I just want it to be known like she's fantastic. Go watch her. I'm not like trying to be like, dude, this girl's an idiot.
They're already buying microtransactions, battle passes. That is why publishers keep doing it. You can scream about how much you don't like it, but that is
who doesn't like it. Who's okay?
What the industry is telling them is working.
There's
as
a
long
lot
as
of
that
people
keeps
who
happening,
don't.
that is not going to
Surprisingly,
change
there's
no
like
matter
this
how
crowd
angry
that
you are
really
on the internet about it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's just like what kind of crowd is that? Like if the microtransactions are in a game that you already paid for, that's a little annoying. For sure.
I think.
But you also don't have to buy it.
I think her argument is she's not understanding why those people are upset about it. It's not because of battle passes or microtransactions. It's because those games that they love, those online games, fade away. That they poured so much time into. They fade away and never come back. That's more so what I'm thinking.
Said that, though.
But I'm saying that's what the crowd... She's trying to reach this crowd with this argument.
Upset about
that's what people are upset about. It's like, oh, I love this game, and I loved being able to boot the games up and play online. But now the company's taking the servers down.
You put the money in it,
like taking the servers down. You put money in it.
That's a risk that you take when you put money in.
Oh no, it's not just for money. It's even if you just got the game for free. The game's just gonna at some point just not even be a blip on the radar. That's more so.
I mean, Fortnite. I don't think Fortnite's going anywhere.
I agree with you, but I'm saying
Warzone's going anywhere.
I'm saying maybe one day that will happen.
PUBG's still around.
Like
one day, maybe. But
I'm saying there are plenty of games that disappeared because of that. Plenty of
understand
good
what you
games.
mean. Like if Fortnite disappeared, I haven't spent a ton of money, but I've spent like it'd be like if Clash of Clans disappeared.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh, I put a lot of money into that game.
Or you put a lot of time into the game and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like that's not a fun thing.
It's just a risk you take. It's just a risk you take with live service games.
I agree with you, but it's a sad situation. I'm not saying that makes them horrible, but that does make me sad. It's like, oh, I really liked playing this game for the multiplayer.
I used to be obsessed with that kind of stuff.
And then
I used to not even play games if I saw that the numbers were dipping because I'm afraid of what you're talking about. So I know what you're saying.
Well, I'm not even talking numbers. I'm saying they just take the servers down and leave the game.
I understand, but if the numbers dip, that means that you could potentially lose
the
game.
That's true.
I'm not just saying because numbers just dip. I'm saying because if they're dipping, I'm like, oh boy.
No, I agree with you. But I'm saying,
like I said, you just have to get over the fear of like. That just happens.
And that's part of why
I know it sucks, but play a different game.
That's true, but that's part of why I just never really got into those games. That is one part, is because I was just like, I like this game, so why would I want to...
If you like it, why not? Why wouldn't you just play it?
That's true. But then I'm just like, yeah, it's going to be gone anyways, so why even play it?
Just play it while you can.
That's true.
I think that about Battle Right. Battle Right, I loved that game. And the numbers weren't like popping off. It's just a game I purely played because I loved, which I don't do very often. At least at that time. You know how I'd be like, what's the Steam charts? And you always tell me, like, why are you checking the Steam charts? You're like, play it if you want.
Yes.
Like, you would always tell me that. You're like, you always be like, dude, you're checking Steam charts? Like, really, dude? You're like, really, dude?
Yes, you shouldn't. I guess what I'm saying is I prefer games where you got, like, private servers. Like, you can host those things, LANs and stuff. Too. That's what I think is cool when companies go out of their way to make a game preserve. So if I want to have that experience, I can go back and do it.
Yeah, that's cool. I think everybody should do that.
And what makes me sad is when, companies don't do it, like, it's getting less and less, and that's just how it is. But it does kind of bum me out that that's happened more so.
Yeah. You know what's funny is if I was just thinking like if Halo Infinite totally died like the multiplayer, which I don't know how many people play on console, but PC it's pretty nil.
It's definitely not. No, it's
they
definitely
they literally will just go play Halo Anniversary.
Yep,
like
they'll
Halo's
play all of
not
the
gonna
Chief
die.
Collection. No, Halo
like
will
in that
survive.
sense.
I mean, the Chief Collection has incredible mods, which I think they wanted to get onto console at one point.
Which we've talked about. I was just saying, like, I was just thinking that there is a speck of light because, like, I will always have the option to play Halo.
No, Halo will always be there. Halo is always going to be there, but it's going to be Bungie Halo.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly.
And that's about it. Yeah.
But I get what you mean with live service games. It's like if I buy a video game, I get to keep it and have that experience forever.
Yeah. It's like,
or if you buy cosmetics in a live service games, you might not have that forever.
No, and that's okay.
Or even have that experience forever.
Like, I get why they do it. It's a totally understandable
Which is sad. You didn't
model.
say it was, but you just said it was sad, which it is sad.
It is. It's
like if I died tomorrow, I'd be like, and was gone, I'd be so sad.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like
33 talk about Fortnite, but I don't really even care. All right.
Yeah, let's get through this
and
video.
I think this year especially, having Skull Island Rise of Kong.
What time are we at right now?
We're at like an hour and 30 minutes. We are away.
And Gollum, and The Day Before, and that Walking Dead game that looked absolutely terrible, all come out in the same year. I think we are actually moving to a movement where we are incentivizing bad video games. It is time to talk about geology. Geology only proven
sponsorship.
26 times 30 trial from LOGIE. Now back to the video. I think we are maybe months away from probably smaller studios who don't care as much about their reputations. I think there is one that has already done this, intentionally making rage bait bad video games because they know that content creators will play them for free. It's very hard to get a content creator to play a game that you worked very hard on and really like, unless it exists as a well-known IP in the AAA space. Turns out getting people to play really, really bad video games, even the smallest content creators will do it, is really, really easy, to the extent that it is now, I think, we've created a legitimate business strategy. The specific publisher that I wanted to call out is a company called Game Mill. Game Mill made Skull Island Rise of Kong, and a report from The Verge revealed that Game Mill gave Iguana Bee, the developer, only 1 year to build the game from scratch beginning June 2022, which is insanity. You can't make a game in 1 year. Apparently, 2 to 20 developers were working on the game at any given time, and the game required to crunch in order to even finish the project, which still came out very bad, unfortunately. It received super negative reviews. People said the game was ugly, full of bugs, very boring, does nothing meaningful or new or clever at all, terrible visuals, horrendous gameplay, awful level design, just overwhelmingly excessively negative.
Bad.
And of course, the publisher knew about this. They rushed the game out within a year for some reason, and now all of us know what it is. This game has been so hotly spoken about, so much more than any of the good games that came out in 2023. Another game, also from Game Mill Entertainment, had a similar release this year. The Walking Dead Destinies came out November 17, and it's considered to be one of the worst games of 2023, with Ollie Reynolds from Nintendo Life saying there is absolutely nothing here that has been executed well. It's a game that is simply rife with technical blunders, terrible production values, and broken mechanics. 2 games from Game Mill that were probably created under the exact same circumstances that got so much attention for being bad. Watch whatever Game Mill's next game is. That's all I'm trying to say. I think we have potentially, unintentionally, created a culture of certain publishers being like, wait, if we make a bad game and it only takes a year to make and with limited staff and we make them crunch for free, a bunch of people will buy it so they can talk about it. This seemingly will only work if it's an IP, because it kind of requires us to recognize the property, but we have created a legitimate business strategy for low-level or mid-level publishers who previously have a record of publishing some more creative titles. You can kind of get more creative and take more risks in that space. There's less to lose. In conclusion, we give a lot of attention to things we don't like in video games. I think there are a lot of people who involve themselves in video game culture who don't even really play video games and instead just watch angry YouTubers, a lot of whom, as it turns out, also don't even really play video games.
True
do
that.
not spend anywhere near enough time talking about the games we actually do like and rewarding the things that we actually do like. I think the gaming community did a great job with Baldur's Gate 3 this year. Buying that game, telling the industry that you want something of that scale, that is a huge win for everybody. But we still got a bunch of fake gamers walking among us. And I fully feel that way about anybody who says all games are shit now. All games are bad now. Are they? The only way you can think that is if you don't really play video games and you only pay attention to people on YouTube. There's a lot that's wrong.
I understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
But it's like when people say all video games suck, you don't take it so literally.
Yes.
Like they don't actually mean that all video games suck.
Not all video games suck.
People just don't talk in specific. People just over embellish. That's just like what people do. Especially internet kids.
This is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm getting from this video, and I want to scream this in this woman's face. To be honest, not that, and this isn't to be like rude or anything. If you're talking you are talking about single player games.
Yeah.
That is what you're talking about. And I agree with you. Yeah. Yes, they suck for the most part these days. They are bad. Those are bad. Those are bad. But if you're talking about
she's saying like that there's a ton of good single player games that came out this year.
And that's
I don't know what they are.
I guess what I'm saying is like with multiplayer games.
Well, we're gonna see. She's gonna talk about what she likes, so we'll see.
We'll see. But with Fortnite, I'm saying like that game's always gonna deliver. Like multiplayer games deliver more nowadays than single player games ever have. Sadly.
That's kind of true.
Like that.
In some instances.
That's what I'm talking about with gaming. I am not saying multiplayer games are bad now. I am not saying that they're all, not creative. I would like a single-player game that can actually keep my interest. That's what I'm looking for. That's not an old one. That is more what I'm looking for.
Yeah, same.
In this climate. It would be nice to have something short and fun.
Yeah, let's see. I'm curious to see
what
she says
removing
about
that. And a lot that's bad and a lot that I find very concerning as someone who really loves video games.
I do agree we give a lot of attention to negative stuff.
Yes.
It's probably good to reward positive stuff. She's not talking about everybody. Obviously we reward good stuff. We talk about how stuff we love all the time. Just that we also, I think it's worth calling out people who are bad.
Yes, agreed.
I think it's important.
But there were so many good games this year that my guess is you just...
You think what? You can talk while she's talking if you want.
You just don't know about them because you don't really pay that much attention.
I'm just listening. I lost my point.
Fake gamer.
Oh, sorry.
In conclusion, I'm going to leave you with a bunch of these. Here are what I think are some absolutely incredible games that
Here we go.
Here's
came
the
out in 2023. Part. A lot of which have not gotten as much attention as Gollum or Kong or
Doubtful.
The Walking Dead or The Day Before. And that sucks. If you think all video games suck, try any of these. I'm not going to go with the super obvious picks that everyone's picking, like Baldur's Gate 3 and Zelda and Alan Wake 2. So let's start with
Alan Wake 2 looks cool. Zelda sucks.
With a franchise you probably heard of, but a series never ever gets enough love. This is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. This game is, in my opinion, absolutely incredible. It has a lot of strength in both combat and exploration, and I think they really nailed the pacing. It is so sharp and so
I'd have to play the games.
It's really
me too.
The story, especially if you've played the other games, is
cool,
one of its best.
They do
I
look
think it stands by itself quite effectively, and if you've never played any of the games, you will miss a little bit of context. I'd recommend just watching YouTube videos, but you will otherwise still have a really rewarding experience playing. It is basically Xenoblade Chronicles realizing what it was trying to be the whole time, getting rid of previous issues that some of the other games had, in my opinion, and coming up with something that is effectively the best of its genre. Next up is Against the Storm, which is obviously a very particular type of game, but again, if you're the kind of person who thinks all games suck, maybe try something that's outside of the usual genre. That's not the action-adventure that so much of the AAA space leans to. It's kind of a mixture of strategy and roguelike elements. There is a ton of randomly generated content, which means that every single time you play, things are going to feel incredibly different. And of course, it has a really satisfying gameplay loop, taking essentials from other really well-known games in this particular genre. But it also just has an unbelievably, undeniably addictive gameplay loop. Again, I know this is a really particular kind.
Addictive.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bad thing?
Yeah, that's
kind of game. But if you're unhappy with everything that you're playing right now, check it out. It is one of the most positively reviewed games on Steam of the year. It has tons of charm and is incredibly unique.
I don't know what that is, but it looks
unique.
Cool.
It is like almost nothing else I have ever played. Next is Turbo Overkill, and oh my god, is this game so awesome. It really takes the best elements of a lot of older first-person shooters, again, very Doom-inspired, plus a bunch of pop culture references that are really fun, and everything it borrows in a very smart, innovative way. So it never feels like a rip-off of anything. It feels like it has its own identity, but that it very carefully, masterfully almost took from every other game that it should have, if that makes sense. And I actually can't imagine many people not liking this game unless you're just really off-put by an older aesthetic.
Like
again, you really just like
dated.
the shiny graphics of the AAA space or something. It is just
really
so much fun, so over the top, such a thrill.
Like you're choosing, there's nothing there. There's no enemies.
It did actually take off pretty well this year. It has a couple of different gameplay loops that I think complement each other perfectly well. You play as a literal diver, and some of the dives are quite compelling, trying to capture fish to then sell in your restaurant. It is perfectly well directed. Every single part of this game, from art to music to gameplay, is all pushing in the same one very satisfying direction.
I like that direction.
And it might surprise you initially, a story that actually has something very interesting to say. Of course, you upgrade your little diver as you play along, and it's another one of those ones that I want to be like, play it. I promise you, no gameplay I could show you will make this game look as fun as it actually is. But it is very fulfilling, very wholesome, still challenging, and remarkably creative. This is one of the best games of the year, no doubt. So good. Pizza Tower is a pretty quick game.
Oh boy, Pizza Tower.
Okay, let me get in the camera's face here a little bit. You said that YouTubers are like you say that YouTubers are the problem, but you're bringing up a game that YouTubers like that people only like because of YouTubers. Stop. You are literally. She is no, dude. I'm sorry, bro. She is a hypocrite. She. What did she say for the beginning of the video? Microtransactions, loot boxes, and then what else? Live service games. She brought up 3 things. I was able to bring up points for each of them that made more sense than what she was even saying. So this is not... The beginning part was filler of this video. It was...
Well, and she said YouTube... She said that YouTubers... like, listen to YouTubers. YouTubers love this game.
Yeah, so what are you talking about? Pizza Tower.
Let's see what she says about it. I mean,
to get through again, look how different all of these games look. Isn't this cool?
This looks like someone made it in MS Paint.
I mean, about how all games suck and all games look the same.
This literally looks like MS Paint.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry.
It may have been.
I'm having trouble even getting through this list. So Pizza Tower is very, very stylish, sort of a Wario Land type. It's a really clever, silly,
Wario Land is actually a fun game.
You
You just insulted Wario Land!
With some really fun
I love Wario Land,
and an old school gameplay style. If you're sick of modern games, jump right in. It also has one of my favorite soundtracks of the year. I definitely would have known.
Why does no one play like gameplay? Like, why does no one show gameplay when I see clips of this? They only show
if I were on any juries,
cutscenes.
and I have difficulty finding anything really to flaw with it. It's effectively a perfect platformer. Next is Slay the Princess, which...
that looks not fun at all.
Wow, we getting creepy. This is a psychological horror.
This looks like something made an RPG Maker.
A beautiful art style, a really, really fun and
visual novel
fairly unpredictable plot twist, which is especially kind of uncommon in the choose your own adventure style, which is what this is. It is an incredibly in-depth, choice-driven game. I am so impressed by the narrative design in this game. It also has great characters, tons of detail. And I don't think I've even scratched the surface of everything that exists in this game just yet. Next up is Cocoon, which is...
show us any... gameplay.
Yeah, that looked like a PowerPoint slideshow.
I could
have made that in PowerPoint, dude. Man, I need to make my next game in PowerPoint, dude. And
was that actually a visual novel?
Microsoft PowerPoint, bruh.
Is that actually a visual novel that she just showed us?
That is a visual novel, apparently. Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure, bro. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I guess I respect that she has a lot of different, like, types
exactly of games. My shit. This is definitely one of my games of the year. This is one of those games similar to Tunic for me, where it is just so expertly made that certain components of it just become like jaw-dropping, just awe-inspiring, absolutely mind-blowingly incredible. It's a challenging puzzle game with beautiful visuals, really, really strong themes, a lot of style in line with games like Inside, which is in my top 10 games ever. It features smart design top to bottom, plus some really, really fun boss fights. Next is Dead Cells Return to Call.
That looked...
it was like... It was just kind of meh.
So you're promising me that these are games that don't suck.
Yeah.
Promising.
Castlevania, which you may have heard me talk about already on the channel. If you like Castlevania at all, I think Castlevania Symphony of the Night is probably still the best PlayStation game. At least it's up there. This is such a fantastic ode to the series, combining obviously Dead Cells style with Castlevania's style. It's a collaboration that I never would have seen coming, but they absolutely nail it. Not much else I feel like really needs to be said here. Just two absolute goats, being Dead Cells and Castlevania, combined to make something pretty much perfect.
Dead Cells is
Next up, and for the record, I could keep going. There is a lot more that I could mention. There are so many more games that I could mention.
Up, please.
But I tried to pick ones that are different, ones that don't just fit the usual AAA style. Like, it's such a good year for games.
We both
tried to be
saw
just,
it.
Distinct in what I picked here. This is the Talos Principle 2. It is a very well written and very challenging puzzle game, sort of like The Witness. It's really thought provoking, both tonally and in story and in puzzles. Not overly difficult, like you're not going to bash your head against a wall playing it, but still really imaginative.
It looks like I'm going to bash my head up against the wall
see
playing
things
it.
And hear things and talk to people and have conversations in this game that will make you think in a way that I really, really appreciated my time with it. Like I am better for this game existing. You also don't need to have played the first game to play the second one, though I would personally recommend it. If you like The Portal, if you like The Witness, if you like anything like that, definitely check out Talos Principle 2 or any of the other countless very, very, very good games that came out in 2023 and come out every single year. If you're still here at the end, I doubt many people made it to the end. Because the start of this video is where the spice is. Can you just leave a comment in the comments section saying the word chicken? Just chicken. I just want to see how many of you made it to the end. All right. A lot of video games are really great, y'all. Chicken out.
All right. It's game time.
How about ad starts? A lot of games are really great there, lads. Okay.
All right.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say.
People say breath of fresh air. It's like a breath of fresh air in the summertime.
Oh gosh, you gotta make me think about that song. Honestly, if I could play it, I would play it for the viewers, but I'm not going to. But at least that's funny. See, this is the sad part about that list, okay?
I respect that her list had different types, so she clearly plays a lot of games.
Yes.
Which I never doubted.
Yes.
She plays more games than I do.
Yeah, you are more of a gamer than me.
Sure.
And I'm okay with that, You can have your... This is the thing, but none of those games...
She also plays games that I would never even think about touching in a million years.
None of those games look appealing to me. None of them. That visual...
She guarantees that if I play one of those... You're talking about a visual novel?
Sister.
You're talking about a visual novel.
Yes, with no visuals? A visual novel with no visuals. Think about that! It's a PowerPoint slide!
That's just...
You could make that in PowerPoint!
That's just...
A visual novel. With no characters. Let's think about this for a second. No characters! There's no art! There's no art! There's nothing! It's a PowerPoint slide! It's a PowerPoint slide!
I gotta say, the visual novel came out of nowhere.
It's a PowerPoint slide! It's like Telltale basically makes visual novels, but they're cool. They're cool. But that is a straight, by-the-book visual novel with no characters. I don't like visual novels either, to be honest. I think they're the laziest form of gaming you could ever do. Like, that is the laziest... You are putting text on a wall and a still. That's just going... As you're... So...
I'm kind of just blown away.
That's two. That's one, and that's two. That's two things as to why I got up in the camera. 3 is... The only gameplay you have is talking to someone. That's it. There is no, there's no failure states. There's no failure states for anything. It's just you have a relationship with a character. And a lot of times those things are disturbing as frick, man. That's why I never played those games. Those people are like the horn dog Japanese people who make visual novels, like the weebs and stuff, who want to be Japanese. That is another reason why I never delved into that genre, because they're just so, anyone who actually likes straight visual novels like that isn't like Telltale, I think you should just touch grass. I'm gonna be honest. Go touch some grass and talk to real people. Talk to real people. Not your little anime waifu that you banged. Like, not to go that low, but it's true. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all visual novels are. There is no depth at all. It is you could do that in PowerPoint. Like, you could, in Microsoft PowerPoint, you could make that game.
Yeah. Pizza King.
Freaking
That one too. Pizza Tower.
Pizza Tower.
Similar, where it's like looks like it was MS Paint.
Bro.
Wario's way better.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I just make a game and just draw it in MS Paint and then just make a visual novel. Is that just going to be like a hit? Just because it's like, because people are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Scraping at the door.
Oh no, you got to remind me of that. Oh. I'm definitely inserting the audio right there. Yeah, no,
I have to go to bed.
Yeah, we are at the.
It was a very long episode.
Also escalated.
We love you.
Yeah, God bless people.
Well, I love your content. Want that to be clarified. Do not have anything against you.
But that
disagree.
That was
terrible. A lot of ways, but that's okay.
That was terrible. In my honest opinion, that was like, the ending part was so bad. It's like, at first I was like, okay, you're starting to hit a little bit of interesting topics. You know, we had an interesting conversation about battle passes and stuff. You know, it was a fun little conversation. I was like, and I didn't sit here dumping on it. I wasn't like, dude, look at how bad it is. I want to clarify, I was not trying to dump on it. I was saying, part of me does kind of miss that old progression. I'm not saying it's logical or it's good, but I'm saying like, but what I'm saying is she repeated those 3 to 4 words and gave no opinion on them at the beginning of the video. Microtransactions, freaking loot boxes, live service games.
Like, list a game. Like, tell me a game that you're talking about.
And
I understand. I have thoughts in my head, but which one are you thinking that's so bad to have a battle pass? Like, tell me.
Was it Battlefront?
Like, at least give us an example.
Because that's
at least give us an example.
Yeah, don't just say
if you're talking about Overwatch loot boxes, like, that's wrong. That's just not accurate.
No. Overwatch loot boxes were some of the best things in my opinion. If I'm being honest, some of the best forms of.
I understand that maybe you're thinking like because you can't pick specifically what you want to buy.
I honestly think that's kind of cooler in some ways.
Well, sometimes you could though.
Like, that's kind of cooler where you can just, like, you don't know what you're going to get.
I understand that that'll make you spend more money if you want something specific and you're opening loot box after loot box till you get it. But it's like, that's your fault.
Yeah.
For wasting your money.
The holier than thou thing was bad.
I didn't spend a cent in Overwatch.
Yeah, that was not.
Oh, yeah, and she's like, I will never buy a battle pass.
She repeated it, too. She repeated it, and I'm like
hey.
I'm like, see, there's a difference between you and me, woman. I will never buy a battle pass just because none of the skins to me are like, oh, that's really cool. Like, some look cool. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but
She's not like, you're supporting.
Yeah.
Terrible games.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here like.
She's like, you're voting with your wallet.
Yeah, it's like, we talking? What games are we talking about? Are we talking
also,
about?
People have been playing bad games for fun for aeons. So don't pretend like that's like a new thing.
Are we talking about mobile games? Is that what we're talking about with like where you can buy stuff to get better? Is that what we're talking about?
Mobile games, like that makes a little more sense.
If you're talking about that, I understand. Mobile games in a lot of ways are the crack dens of gaming. That is the truth. It is the crack den. So if we were, that would be an interesting discussion too. Honestly, for a podcast, just kind of how odd mobile games are. It's almost like funny how odd the practices are. If you want
to get rich quick, you make a good mobile game.
Oh yeah.
If you make a good mobile game, dude. Billions.
Oh, yeah.
Companies have billions. Supercell's worth billions.
You know what's even sadder than that? If you can even monetize a single-player mobile game, You actually can do that.
For sure.
There's one where there's one.
You can monetize anything.
It was a crappy indie horror game. It was called Mr. Meat, and it had this guy with like a meat cleaver who would chase you around, and you would have to watch an ad to refill your bullet every time.
Yeah.
I never spent a dime on it,
crazy.
but not a bad strategy, honestly. Not a bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of free horror games that are like that. Like, if you die and want to continue where you were at, you have to watch an ad.
Now that is predatory practices. That is actually that's pretty bad.
And it's, I mean,
there's nothing you can do about it.
Just not play it.
Yeah, just don't play it. It's like anyone
play it and not care.
Yeah. Or just play it and not care. But I still think somebody should come in there and be a little bit like, okay.
Yeah, true. I don't think it's okay.
Someone should come in there and be like, what's going on? They'll never do it, but don't let it ruin your night. It's not ruining my night. I'm not kept up at night like, oh my gosh, I'm not like this. I'm not like this girl. I'm not like battle passes, microtransactions, mobile games, cosmetic skins.
She didn't mention mobile gaming's.
I'm not like
specifically.
I'm not like cosmetic skins. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not thinking there. I'm not sitting there at night thinking, dude, gaming is dead now because of that. I'm thinking gaming is dead because single player gaming is dead. I actually believe it's dead. I am at this point where it's like, this is dead. Minus Hogwarts Legacy, it is dead.
I mean, no offense, but when you're showing me
it's dead.
When you're showing me a game of a 2D diver diving for fish,
yes,
it's pretty dead.
It's dead. It's dead. I'm so like that's what I should have clarified. For years I've been saying that because we've been on for 3 years, like this podcast grind, and I swear I'd like us to someday just look back at that first episode just for one episode.
You said we should. We really should.
Have to, dude. I want you to feel how I feel about that episode. I feel so frustrated about it. I'm so angry about it. I'm like, oh, it's so bad.
Well, we can do it one day, but I have to go to bed.
Good night,
God bless.
God bless.
See you next week. What a long episode. Wow.
Year 3, boys. Let's see what happens.